In this video, we're going to learn some basics of password cracking, or better call it hash cracking. We're going to understand what hashes are and how we can crack them using a tool called HASHCAT. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe to this channel and like the video. And if you're interested in learning hacking and cybersecurity, check out the first link in the description. It'll definitely help. Now, without wasting any more time, let's get started. Now, before we move on to HASHCAT and how it works, let's quickly understand what hashing is. Hashes are a one-way function. You can't reverse a hash, but you can recreate the same hash by feeding the same input into the function. Think of a blender. You put in a password like banana, milk, and sugar, then blend. Out comes the same smooth smoothie every time for that recipe, but you cannot separate it back into the original ingredients. If someone tries to guess recipes, weak or common ones are easy to recreate. Adding a unique spice to each jar before blending makes identical recipes turn into different smoothies, and using a heavy, slow blender makes every attempt take much longer, which stops mass guessing. That's essentially what HASHCAT does. We can't get our password back from a hash, but we can try to produce an exact matching hash. I hope that makes it clear. Now that you know what hashes are, let's quickly install HASHCAT on our system and start cracking a few hashes. Well, I am going to use my Windows for installing HASHCAT today, but you can do the same process on Linux too. You might be wondering why Windows for installing HASHCAT, even though Linux provides a better environment and HASHCAT comes pre-installed on Kali Linux. Well, the reason is that you can't use your GPU inside virtual machines, and hash cracking depends mostly on your hardware. The better your GPU is, the faster it is going to crack the hashes. I want my GPU to power HASHCAT for fast hash cracking, and for that, I need to install HASHCAT on my Windows. Now, there is no big problem if you don't have a GPU or you don't want to use HASHCAT on your Windows. You can still follow along with your Linux system too. The process is the same, and it's even easier on Linux. You can use your package manager like apt or pacman to install HASHCAT quickly. Anyway, for installing HASHCAT on Windows, you can head over to their website and grab the latest binaries from there. It'll start downloading a zip file, as I've already downloaded it. Once downloaded, you can simply extract it and it'll be installed. No need to do anything else. Now, if I open a terminal here in this HASHCAT directory really quick and type ls, you can see a list of all the files, and one of them is hashcat.exe. If I execute this by typing the command, you can see it's working. Let's add the help flag and see what we get. You can see we're able to view the help of HASHCAT this way. HASHCAT has a long help list, but I'm going to cover only a few important things. The first thing is the attack mode. HASHCAT comes with different attack modes, as you can see here: straight mode, brute force mode, and a few others. Each mode has its own number assigned to it. In this specific video, we're just going to have a look at the straight mode, which uses word lists to crack the hashes. But let me know in the comments section if you want videos on other modes as well. In straight mode, we use word lists to crack the passwords. If you don't know about word lists, these are lists made up of millions of passwords leaked from databases. One of the most famous word lists is the RockU word list. You can check out the link in the description to download it, but if you're using Kali Linux, you don't need to worry. It comes pre-installed. It contains millions of passwords, and HASHCAT will use it to crack our hashes in straight mode. I've already got a few hashes just for demonstration purposes from a Try Hack Me room. Now let's try to crack them one by one. So in our terminal, first we'll type hashcat.exe and then -a to tell HASHCAT which attack mode we want to use, which in this case is going to be 0. After that, we have to specify the hash mode. It's not like we have only one type of hash. We have different types of hashes like MD5, SHA1, and many others, and each hash has its own hash mode in HASHCAT, which tells HASHCAT which type of hash we want to crack. Now, one may ask how we'd know which type of hash it is, since they all look almost the same. Well, it's simple. You can just copy your hash and open the website linked in the description. It's not like you can only use this one. You can use any website you want, or make a quick Google search. If you're on Linux, you can install a tool named Hash Identifier to identify the type of hash. Now, if I put my hash in here and click on Identify, it tells me that it is an MD5 hash. Now, we're not done here. We know that it is an MD5 hash, but we don't know what the hash mode for this MD5 hash is. For that, you can just open this page in your browser where you can see all the hash names and their modes. For example, for our MD5 hash, the hash mode is 0. There's a whole list of them. We'll come back to it in a moment, but let's get back to our terminal first. Now, here, after specifying the attack mode, we have to specify our hash mode, which we can do with the -m flag, and then our hash mode, which is 0. After that, we have to specify our hash in double quotes, or you can put it in a file. After specifying the hash, we can specify our word list, which is the RockU word list. Now, as soon as I press enter, you can see that HASHCAT is running. And here we go. As you can see, HASHCAT took no time to crack this hash. It was a pretty easy hash, which is why it was cracked so quickly. Now, let's move on to the other hashes. If I copy the second hash from my notepad and paste it into the hash identifier, it tells me it's a SHA-1 hash, and the HASHCAT mode for SHA-1 is 100. So let's go back to the terminal and try to crack this one. The command stays the same. We only need to change the hash mode from 0 to 100 and replace the target hash with the new SHA-1 hash. As soon as I press enter, HASHCAT starts, and this hash is cracked as well. Let's try another hash, and then I'll tell you a bit more about HASHCAT and hash cracking. This one looks longer. If I put it into the hash identifier, it says it's a SHA-256 hash, and the hash mode for SHA-256 is 1400. We come back to the terminal, change the mode to 1400, replace the hash with the new one, and press enter. HASHCAT starts again, and we get the hash cracked. Now, one might think these were just very simple passwords. The ones I showed were easy and can be cracked with tools like John the Ripper, so why use HASHCAT? You're right, simple passwords can be cracked with tools like John, but for cracking more complex passwords, we need HASHCAT. People don't use very simple passwords these days. They use combinations of letters, numbers, and special characters. To crack those, we can use HASHCAT in brute force mode. In brute force mode, HASHCAT will try every possible password combination, but it will take a very long time if the password is strong. For that reason, attackers can use masking. Masking is an important topic in HASHCAT's brute force mode, and we'll cover it later. In straight mode, we can also use rules. What are rules? Imagine a victim used the password password and then thought it was too easy, so they changed A to @ O to 0 and added 123 at the end. They think that makes it strong, but rules simulate those kinds of changes automatically. Rules turn base words from a word list into many variations, for example, adding 123 to the end, inserting special characters, or replacing characters. We have different rule files in the rules folder, and you can specify a rule along with your word list using the -r flag. If I show you the content of one of the rule files, you'll see different types of rules defined for appending numbers, special characters, and even rotations. Let me know in the comments section if you want a complete video on how to crack passwords more efficiently by using rules. Now, before I end this video, I want to tell you about a few more cool things in HASHCAT. Every time you crack a hash, it gets added to a pot file, so if you crack a hash once, you won't need to crack it again. You can just read hashcat.potfile and find your cracked hash there. Also, if you don't want to go online every time to check the hash mode of a specific hash, you can pass the -h flag to HASHCAT, and it will list all the hash types along with their mode numbers. That's all for the video. I hope you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you did, and don't forget to check the first link in the description. Our guides are there, and in System 32, you'll find every guide I've made and every guide I'll create in the future, so please check it out.